abnormal amount of times as well. You know you're going to be getting pressure down there. Jarvan early ganking jungler, Twisted Fate locked in. This is TL retaking the early game reign, so yeah, no surprise there.
Yeah, Tahm Kench keep him safe. Obviously, you want some kind of safety, whether you're bringing Cleanse, often not enough for TF, he still provides some damage, but the Tahm Kench can keep him pretty safe. If you're really fast, you mean the gold card itself, you can wait till the stun comes in, and now realizing, okay, they are banning the Ornn away. Impact, you want this early on for some more straightforward team fight engage, see if it comes through. I would love to see it, it's not gonna happen here.
I think it's probably just gonna be mid, because if you actually go Ornn, wait, okay. If you go Ornn, I mean, they can just counterpick on 3, right? So I guess they're feeling that it's important enough that they don't feel he can get punished. So they go Ornn, they're setting themselves up for a really strong 5v5 late game already. And now TL, you can counterpick on 3 and then still have answers later.
I, though, for one, have been waiting for a real Ornn counterpick. Something
The
like
Alawi,
Kale, even Darius, really leaning in to counterpicking this champion. Gangplank is a very strong one. Whippo definitely tons of games on Gangplank as well, so right into the player comfort as well as being able to make bottom side plays still with your ultimate with Twisted Fate. It's one of the oldest combinations, these two Bilgewater champions, Twisted Fate and Gangplank. It is a recipe for disaster most of the time for enemy carries, because Gangplank ultimate is the slow that guarantees that Twisted Fate is going to be able to gold card you. So Team Liquid have so much skirmishing power on the other side of the map, and then, hey, you're facing a tank matchup in your 1v1 for Whippo on the top side, so he should be fine there, farming up, getting extra gold as Gangplank.
Yeah, it's fun to see the comps kind of flipped in sort of intention, right? Where it is TL who's playing aggressive. It's TL with the early game jungler who's gonna go high tempo, who's gonna play around the double globe, who's trying to get stuff done early on. And like Ornn's like, yo, give me level 15 so I can upgrade me, Danny, and Jojo, and like, we'll play League of Legends with Infinite Frontline.
I would actually like to see EG ban out Ashe. I just think that in these kind of comps, Hans has defaulted to it very, very frequently. TL is not hurting for damage if you're going to go GP, if you're going to have that kind of heavy amount of damage coming from the top side. So I do think that Ashe could be an intelligent ban. Instead, they're going to ban out Caitlyn. So concerned about possibilities of Caitlyn Lux. TL has a lot of options here. I mean, if you want to play a poke-heavy lane, there's Ezreal. Ezreal is available.
I'd say the
Karma's
Misfortune
banned
as
out,
well
though,
is quite powerful if you
MF,
want
Ashe.
to get a big AoE.
Yeah,
but there is so much engage, and it's so clear for Team Liquid. If you are the jungler, this is basically make Santorin God mode. You've got Twisted Fate, Gangplank, and Ashe all having your back. You get to have free information on opponent jungler.
Oh, yes! Oh, you love to see it. EG comes back with more spice. I gotta say, I walked into Artemis today and I said, hey man, give me some info. What's going on in the draft? He's like, we got some exciting for you. I thought it was talking about game 1. I thought the excitement was over in game 1, but nah, we got the Diana Yasuo in.
That is confidence, man. And now, what is the answer for Core? Does he go hard engaged or does he pick more defensively?
Yo, I love this, by the way. I love this. Yes! Finally! I have been waiting so damn long
like
for mages into Tahm Kench.
Shouts out to Sneaky and Lemonation, baby, for the classic Ashe, Zyra, double range, hard poke, abuse bottom lane, abuse that Tahm Kench, make him wish he was back on the bench.
Now this is so interesting because traditionally you have to be worried about those ganks, right? But they have TF to support, they have GP ult to support, they have a strong early ganking jungler in J4, so they can play heavily through this bot lane and have that safety of all the backup that TL can provide them.
And it is into a Diana jungle. Please give me answers of what is the early ganking jungle that you do not care about in this meta. It is few and far between. This is one of the very few.
Now, this is crazy.
Diana early is not going to do anything to the...
So I'm so interested to see how this early game is going to go, because while this 2v2 will be very impressive for TL, if they cannot create action early, Diana Yasuo will run over a lot of these squishy champions. Basically, everyone on TL is incredibly vulnerable, and Zyra is reputed as one of the squishiest champions in the game. If you get caught by that combo, exhaust or not, you're dead.
I want to hyper-focus here and make a request to the observers to look for Santorin and Hansoma's early hawk shots this game, because this champ select matchup is so interesting and so critical, the early influence that you can have. Please track these hawk shots as they come out to see Inspired's path, you already will have very high importance on every trinket ward from Evil Geniuses. Santorin here, as a Jarvan, you have options of starting either side of the jungle, of making early passes towards mid lane because you have setup in mid lane. Jarvan actually crushes Yasuo here. Only Bjergsen has to worry about the win wall. And you constantly have this threat on the bottom side where CoreJJ and Hansama will be throwing out poke, trying to whittle down their opponents. They're getting run down
right now. Tongue Lash is a slow couple of shots and a Hansama trading back, though, feels pretty good for lethal tempo. Ash, Ignite is on, trading back for more. Danny down a bit low.
This is the tongue.
Already ate his cleanse now as well, going back for a lot more. Vulcan at 100 HP. This could be a kill. A flash to safety. Vulcan's low. Vulcan, but at the flash to get out, just barely stays alive.
They've got double flash advantage on the side of Hansama and CoreJJ now. This gets so brutal. You have to expect jungles to be extracted down to the bottom side. EG have no summoner spells to have as a crutch. They will get pushed in. They will get poked at their tower. Santorin, again, this jungler, he's pathing down from red side. Red Raptors, he's going to get level 3 off of the blue quadrant, and the bottom lane opens up a massive lead for Team Liquid.
And now Santorin doesn't even have to come because he's paying respect to the dive. They know that this could happen. They're zone of XP, so they're pushing them out here. You're stuck at level 1. You're going to have the base at
nowhere
1
near.
CS.
That hawk shot is going to find Diana on top side of the map. It hits now. You see it on the mini map. Inspired is known. Bottom lane can do whatever they please.
And this is so punishing. You know, it looked like Danny thought he had the heal. It was a bit of a panic cleanse. You know, he didn't actually cleanse. He cleansed before exhaust. There was no CC. That's one of those things where it's just the reaction time. You know, you're just used to having heal in that situation. He pops it out, and he gets punished very heavily for it. They're going to lose a plate even here, very likely. And you walk back, your only buy is 2 additional pots, and now Santorin is here, you're still level 1. Do they have the time? The minion is dead and he has been spotted, but they could potentially zone them off this as well. Inspired's got to come cover.
Yeah, they do know there's a ward in the brush. You're going to see Vulcan sweep it out. Danny gets his seconds. Oh, he doesn't even get it. Vulcan stole it. Danny's still in 1 CS.
Turret play already getting knocked down here for the Team Liquid bottom lane, though. And they know they Inspired to transition back to this side of the map. They can keep up the pressure. Now Santorin, as you're mentioning, is so free. Again, the Yasuo is also a volatile and vulnerable lane that can be under pressure of constant Jarvan threat. If EG are unable to get any deep wards or unable to track the camps from Santorin, Jojo constantly has to be aware of how he's pushing the lane, of keeping minions to dash back to have some extra safety there, because Bjergsen will not be throwing gold cards into the win wall. You wait for the Jarvan to go first, wait for the Jarvan to get the mobility out, and then you follow it up.
Looks like it'll be just a dedicated recall in the first place. The wave just too awkward of a spot. It's going to keep vision, so it won't get much done here.
And I expect this to grow here for Team Liquid. You know, EG, they went for the bold play.
Yeah.
But if you go for that charge down as Tahm Kench, you literally have to hit every single Q. If your opponents dodge one of your Qs, you are screwed, and walking back out, you get slowed down by the Ashe passive. And they took so much damage, just brutal there.
Feels pretty good about that one. Yeah, eats the orange, is still winning the trades. Grasp Qs look pretty good. 23 to 26 in CS, but more for the farm, and the lane is frozen away from impact. Has to be respectful.
Yeah, should bounce back eventually, with Core taking a couple zaps there, and is out of potion, so he has to pay some respect. Does have his flash available, so knows he can always flash a Tahm Kench W, but for EG now, you're kind of just playing for mid. You're playing for 6 there. They are heading towards top. Santorin is here. This will be something you have to flash.
They don't go for quite in time. Ultimately, yeah, just able to walk away, no problem.
Waving quite a nice spot there for Whippo, though, so Impact gonna have to choose. Call up jungle, help him push in. He does have teleport available. Looks like he canceled his recall.
Oh, and he got Core. Wow, that's actually a pretty good target, honestly. Hansama more in need of buy-in, gets the Noon Quiver plus Boots is a really outstanding purchase. Yeah, Core, I mean, the difficulty is going to be the desynced wave, right? Like, Ashe Sour needs to be together to get stuff done. You poke so much that, you know, they can't really go back on you, but there's going to be a solid, like, 15, 20 seconds of Hans alone.
Actually, really smart stuff there from Impact. He waited at his tower out of vision, canceled his recall to move back up and push that wave in. So his wave will bounce off easily now. He corrects his own vulnerabilities on the top side, and that just means for EG, they can try and focus even more on the ultimates coming up for Jojo plus Inspired. this Diana Yasuo combo.
Yeah, there's a lot to talk about in this game. It's so interesting, but we've been so focused on bot lane, obviously, because of all the action down there. But Ornn, an additional knockup. Impact also not playing Unsealed Spellbook, which has become almost 100% of the time for Ornns, in these matchups, because they can swap over to Ignite at 6 and have that kill threat. He is instead playing Grasp. It's kind of a little bit more consistent, but you have to be consistently able to get in range of that GP to get value out of it.
Because we haven't seen any of the extra pressure towards mid, though. No ganks towards mid. Yasuo naturally going to have a very nice matchup there, and he has been able to farm up. He is level 6 now. Zerker Greaves as well rushed for the extra mobility too to get in range for the possible combo. Inspired still needs a little bit more experience to get access to his 6, but Dragons are ready, and Team Liquid trying to get superiority in River first.
As the wave goes down, JoJo, I think historically, pretty easily, pretty obviously, has been the best laning mid laner in the LCS. Just the lead down here. Bot lane going to be a bit of a scuffle now as well. Santorin would like to take the Dragon, but ultimately, you've got a Yasuo right there watching you. And ult towards bot lane does absolutely nothing.
I think a bit of miscommunication there, as that is a very important cooldown for possible bottom side fights for Team Liquid. There's no level 6, even close here for Hansama. I believe he's right at the beginning of level 5, so no follow-up Ashe ultimate or anything, and not in range for Team Liquid to capitalize.
It kind of looked to me like TL was thinking about cheating down and actually moving Bjergsen down, but because Inspired and JoJo were between him and bot lane, they kind of called off that play, and Whippo drops the ulti, not going to get too much. We'll see how much of this wave they can deny. I mean, it's a monstrous lead already in bot, 37-63. We'll see how much of this Danny can pick up. But he needs each and every CS that he can get because he is very far behind, despite not actually dying. It's definitely a tough matchup, and they want to stay relevant so that there is the threat of those all-ins onto Core JJ.
Well, wave goes down yet again. Jojupin now going to look towards the top side. Keep in mind, a level 6 Ornn. We used to see it with Nocturne. It was the Nocturne Ornn combo we saw a lot throughout playoffs, and it seemed like it was pretty easy to pick people off in the top side. Yasuo Ornn, not quite as easy to pilot, but he walks back to mid anyway.
And you can see Whippo, he knows his job in this game is to farm up, make extra gold with his passive, and just utilize his ult cooldown for the bottom half of the map. So he is not exposing himself to combinations from Ornn to get low or be vulnerable for a tower dive. It does mean that EG are going to have pressure on top side with the rotation over. So Inspired will be able to pick this up with the support of the threat of Yasuo coming through, and Rift Trail #1 again here. We'll go towards EG.
Oh, gets a chomper. That's so much damage. Ashe could fall, flash to safety, but now on a Core JJ has his own flash and trades heavily enough that they're going to stay alive down there. A nice trade they'll come out of EG.
Yeah, they go positive on summoners there, and that time Danny having the cleanse for the exhaust, able to keep that damage up. Hans is low, and potentially you could look to punish, during this window where he doesn't have flash, he doesn't have heal. Vulcan and Danny warding out their sides, making sure no one is sneaking down here to dive them. We know Santorin is over by that blue and Gromp, but of course they do not. And with Bjergsen missing from mid, you always have to pay respect now of those potential roams. But Inspired is post 6, so they have that combo available. Likely JoJo wants to buy before they pull the trigger on it because he's sitting on quite a bit of gold.
TL, though, off to a 1,200 gold lead. Sure, some of that is TF and Gangplank print a bunch of cash automatically, but obviously we know bot lane is crushing just as hard as they were last game. Yeah, no first blood, but even more CS this time around. I mean, Ashe Zyra is there to be lane dominant. Obviously, Zyra is no engaged champion. She's there to be kind of a peel. She's got decent damage output once you get Leandry's online, and Santorin, almost the exact same time as last game, a right 3-10 minutes for straight.
And it was delayed again by the early Gangplank ultimate.
You can steal this
last time around, but they still convert on it. And you see they cycle basically all the way around right until the next Gangplank ultimate is up. So if you do have to fight that dragon fight, you will be able to have the upper hand there for Team Liquid. So it's a little bit more delayed on their dragon stacking, but they still get #1 here pre-10.
And again, similar to last game, Inspired has been able to pick up the Rift Herald, so they're trying to trade that to hopefully for them even out the gold a little bit. But Santorin wrapping around, Inspired is here, so there's not really much of a play to be had. Has been down here at the correct timings, and this passive kind of jungle game, does benefit Inspired very much, despite the fact that the 2v2 is going really well for TL. Santorin would be wanting to have more action, where Inspired is super happy to just power farm, right? Like he's up 3-4 camps already, over his opponent jungler.
I am definitely looking at Danny now, though. No summoner spells after that ultimate from Hansama. That is a worthy investment because there are so many other dive ultimates that they can throw at Danny who now have to rely on Vulcan.
Like, keep in mind,
push.
Flash ER is basically unplayable you just get to ult Hansama with everybody if you wanted to really, really try super hard, like Core could root him, but it's not going to stop the combo. Ultimately, doesn't get much done down there. Whippo still pushed around. Pretty close in farm up there. Whippo up by about a wave and a half. Ultimately, doesn't mean too much as JoJo has been trying to roam and unfortunately hasn't got anything done with that.
It is tricky. You know, he wants to get down there and support their bot lane. They know that in an isolated 2v2, there's just no winning for Vulcan and Danny, barring a misplay really from Hans and Core JJ. So unless you're going to make a move down there, you're going to continue passively losing this lane. You're going to continue losing plates. And so Torin has just been hovering because he has to do this to make sure that they are not going to get ganked in all in. That is kind of the answer to this. But without Inspired able to make a play, Santorin gives them the safety to push up. He walks in, he sees if anyone's there, and gives them confidence.
Finds the knock-up, arrow in there as well. Chain CC, shield comes in, but the dunk's gonna come through. First blood claimed, Inspired in for more. Double up, but JoJo's not in range. Still finds the first, wants the second, gets it in for Danny. Here comes JoJo Pyun, and Bjergsen TP's it. It's the farm alarm, he's dead again.
Oh, that is so much Diana ult damage to set up for those kills. Even without the Yasuo combination, Inspired jumps in and is rewarded with a huge AoE there.
And TL commits so much to kill the Tahm Kench. Yes, you get him. Yes, you get the first blood. But Jinx is free firing. Diana, Yasuo arrive. This entire tower gonna get very low here. They'll get at least the 4 plates. Danny will have to back off now, very likely. But Danny just got paid like that. Already, he's ahead in gold again over the Ashe.
That's why the #1 thing we highlighted for playing against Diana Yasuo is your positioning. Positioning is everything. You can lose yourself chasing kills here and grouping up, and that can be a death sentence. Even without the Yasuo, just look at the re-engage. So, yes, Tahm Kench, full comboed.
G4 ult.
Everything, even GP ultimate from the top side. And then Santorin is forced to flash out. They do teleport in, but look at that damage onto both Hansama, as well as the extra kill there, and it just sets him up for the chase down. Danny was able to stay out of range, and remember, he was the vulnerable one. He's the one with no flash, no cleanse, no summoner spells, and yet he's able to get right back in. They pick up the extra money. Diana's now fed. 2 kills here for Inspired. That makes the next Diana ultimate even more fearsome, considering JoJo should be near.
2,000 damage for Inspired, the carry jungler, the LEC MVP. The kind of performance we wanted to see from him and hadn't for a lot of the summer split, right? EG were such slow starters, 3-0'd by T on the lock-in finals, 0-2 to the regular season. I mean, they were 2-8 against this team all year long. But Inspired's on, JoJo Pyun's on, Danny, we clearly saw from game 1 is ready to go, and EG are peaking at the right time.
And JoJo with that shield bow, you know, he can be the answer later in the game to this GP inside lane. Yasuo can look to match. Whippo clearly going full crit build here, you know, with a couple crit cloaks in. It's likely going to be, you know, aggressive mythic option here, i.e. third, try to rush towards that 60% crit for those potential barrel chains, because he has been farming very well. He's printing gold on the top side. He got an early call, which is now cashed out. So Whippo still has a tremendous amount of gold, and TL are going to have chances playing through sides, looking for picks, but they've got to pay so much respect to Diana Yasuo.
Whippo's been fine-tuning his multi-crit cloak build. I love it. This time around with the Essence Reaver, going to get him there much quicker. But again, his ultimates are going to be the biggest mid-game impact that we see from him. And so Team Liquid now becomes really dangerous, actually. 12 seconds left on this next dragon to set up. They want to continue stacking, obviously, but EG, they've got cooldowns for both Diana and Yasuo.
Oh, sidesteps it, but the dunk's on it too. Is it going to be enough damage? Vulcan chomps then, spits him right back out, so Danny will stay alive, but Vulcan will lose his life. Well done. TL do not want to say die, and they find one.
The timing there to interrupt Vulcan's W to keep Tahm Kench there and finish off that kill for Team Liquid was critical.
That's a good play, but we'll see how much they lose towards mid. You know, how many minions will Bjergsen drop? It doesn't look like a lot thus far. There may be some option here for counterplays, getting this tower low, and Bjergsen going to have to pay respect to this Yasuo.
I mean, there was a chance, right? Q, E onto a minion, Q again, Rocket Belt, like, Hansama is not far away from being comboed. Inspired, like, again, could have jumped that minion and almost been in range.
Yeah, error on the side of caution. Instant Gale Force there. Doesn't even want to risk trying to dodge. Immediately gets out of there. And Team Liquid, again, they have been one of the teams, regardless of roster over the years, that has been very good at trying to push and accrue micro advantages for their team to slowly build up to those big moments.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, here, 2 dragons, going to be looking at potential soul point here around 20 minutes. That is going to be a very big fight. But the concern is that EG this time has really drafted for that 5v5. They are going to be in a good position here to find a multi-man knockup because you have both the Diana and the Orin to do it. Even the Tom Kench can set you up. Like, someone is going to find that knockup for Inspired, to combo with JoJo.
Yeah, Team Liquid, they've done great with micro advantages. EG, they very clearly have done well with gargantuan advantages, all in a single play, as evidenced by the previous game. This one, though, is going to be a simple rotation for them.
Yep.
Danny will be fed the gold of the turret. The local gold will go to him. Recall should finish here for Ornn in time.
First, it's going to be close. Oh, they actually got it.
Claim. So thank you, money on the Danny. Herald will not shark local gold, actually, so that's going to go a lot towards the AD carry here. Can push it in. They might get the charge in the second one. There's a chance you could play for the eye, but it's going to be tight. And actually, with that plant there on the way, they do stop it, so well done, TL. They prevent that turret from dropping to 1/3.
All right, Team Liquid still looking at with their eyes on the clock, and you see their investment in vision around the Dragon area. It's not only for the next setup of Dragon, but for the next placement of Vision. Each Vision placement, it comes in kind of waves, and if you have the deeper one already set, then it'll make it much safer for you to keep that up. Of course, they also have Hawkshot to rely on, so their movements into the river should be the most safe, and they've got another pick.
Still rooted, arrow's gonna land as well. There's nowhere to go. Reinforcements aren't coming in time. 3 kills in a row. TL knocking down Vulcan.
Exactly why you invest in Vision. It always delivers returns. They had the entire red quadrant lit up there, and EG trying to move their way in a bit recklessly through what is considered Team Liquid territory because of the existing wards. Nice punishment there from Team Liquid. Again, the micro advantages. 1 kill picked off, a little bit more gold. Yes, it's well in advance of the Dragons. Not going to help them with the objective, but every little bit of gold gets them to the area where they can bring that fight to completion.
And you can see how devastating that lockdown is. I mean, even with unflinching and Merc Treads, you can't actually live through it. If that connects on JoJo, if he's not on point with a wind wall on an Ash Arrow or something like that, you're just dead. Yes, Danny has an answer with the cleanse, but same thing goes for Inspired. You can have as many stopwatches as you want. If you get hit by that first bit of CC, you're going to have it layered on you, potentially with that gold card, the Ash Arrow. There's so much follow-up that they can burst you down. And that's why the engages are going to be so important in this game. The first moments of the fight can decide a lot.
I will say it's also critical to take advantage of what happens in the lulls. On the reset from Team Liquid, EG just got the mid turret. That mid turret is pivotal in setting up for your dragon fights because you always want to try and get your mid push first to transition into the dragon pit, into that river. And EG actually pretty happy with what they're paid for afterwards. Danny is able to get that mid turret down. So less defense for Team Liquid to set up behind, as well as getting Danny, this Jinx, some more gold. And we've already seen what he's capable of.
3-1 in turrets, 4-3 in kills, but TL, keep in mind, they are 7 minutes away. Nice try, of course, has to have a champion to explode. Hansama kites it away, not going to find that target. But yeah, keep in mind, we are 7 minutes away from a Hextech Soul for TL if they can keep bot side control. Now, right now, mid lane actually EG favored, bot lane also EG favored, but as the resets come in, TL can get closer and closer to that objective.
This is really interesting. I'm kind of starting to think that Bwipo is actually going to skip his Mythic and go Navori Quickblade second into an IE and get a very late Mythic. Maybe get a Shield Blow. Sometimes people even go Gale Force really late if you want to have the repositioning more than something else. But this is definitely not a typical GP build. Generally, you see people get their Sheen Mythic, but because he's going Essence Reaver, you can kind of forgo that. But it will mean he won't get that Mythic passive until very late, if I'm correct about what his build is.
But to me, it also spikes really incredibly hard super early on 3 items, because Gangplank, when you have Infinity Edge plus the active actually available and enabled, that actually is where you get your one-shots on the back line. That's why he rushes the Essence Reaver, so he has the Sheen built in with the crit ready to go. As soon as you get your hands on that Infinity Edge, Bwipo transforms into a backline exploding god.
And EG has no vision around that dragon area, so they have to be so respectful. Now that Bwipo responds, they're going to TP in, and they're going to move 5 men strong, into this river area. But they've got to be careful. They see Bwipo moving down, but you know that there's going to be a barrel chain from here, and that, if it hits a carry, can just end your possibility of a team fight.
All right, watch the barrel chains from Bwipo here from the Fog of War. Can he get anything back there?
Fire's wrapping around. He's going to look for a flank.
And right now, based on TL's movements, they will see, okay, we don't see Diana, we see the other four,
Bjergsen
and he's
punch.
blocking him with a gold card. He's gonna find that stun. They're going, arrow's gonna land as well, and he can't do a damn thing. Engage comes in towards Whip, but it's not going to matter. The slows are in, the Gale Force forward. Jujupun running away for his life, the slows in for Hansama, red buff there as well. Impact, gonna have a hard time getting away. Here comes the dunk, Volk gonna target, gonna not, W to safety, gets rooted out of place, and it's gonna be a 2 for nothing. And it's time for Impact to die as well. Team Liquid find what they need to get the fight, and they're gonna go for Baron.
They sniff out that flank and they chase down Evil Geniuses. The rewards will be the entire map. Baron picked up here for Team Liquid. They can even reset and transition over to Dragon afterwards. What a play. Jumping on Inspired, the Diana could not get away. Team Liquid, the key is no hesitation as soon as they find him.
2v5 on the
This is
Baron.
so much worse. Rocket, well tanked, not going to be a problem. JoJo's done. There's no real play here, right? There's no real play. It's going to be claimed. The root's in place. Danny wants to go, but the health bar is so low. Has Inspired, flash, pulls in one, onto the Yasuo, wind walls into place, and they're going to get 1 for nothing. Chase in for another. There's 2. Looking for number 3 is already Santorin's in for a bit himself. Vulcan's nearby, Inspired, shot back up. I think he's been in for more. Is he in range for the rest of this kill? Q's in. He's going to be on cooldown, though. Cannot quite find those kills.
But that should give them the priority on Dragon here. Because they got the extra kills, Santorin's going to have the Baron-empowered recall. It'll get him back quicker, but I don't think it'll be quick enough. Inspired does have his smite ready, so Evil Geniuses chase down a few stragglers out of Team Liquid and should be able to at least cut off that Dragon Soul.
Very, very exciting game. Back and forth here. You know, TL taking the edge, but EG able to at least knock a couple of those Baron buffs off, stave off Soul Point here, so giving themselves a chance. And we know if they can find that combo, they can pull it off, but TL just had such good setup. Zoning with Zyra plants, zoning with GP barrels, you know, utilizing the TF ulti to be able to scout out. It's just very intelligent setups around that Dragon. You know, Danny looking for the play here. TL not going to let them have it, but it's all about delaying and buying time for Inspired.
And I do want to point out that this type of chase down is enabled by the Rift. It is a Hextech Rift, enabling them to use those Hextech gates to get here even quicker in just barely the small time frame to chase down a couple of kills. So the type of Rift sometimes does matter.
That in the play. Danny flashing in to try to get that last auto on Core JJ, right as Santorin flag and drags in, so he just goes
Very
down
close.
instantly. Yeah, if that was a split second earlier, he gets that kill. If he doesn't get hit by the flag, that can look pretty different. Unfortunately for him, he does go down. And TL, during these replays, we saw Bjergsen kill top tower. Now they take the tier 1 in mid. They're pushing in bot. They're extending that advantage here. And in fact, it was Prowler's Claw, so it wasn't the build I was thinking.
Yeah.
It's going to be a much later IE. He will go for that 4th, but gets that additional armor pen in early.
Yeah, lethality, if you're going for, you know, one shot in the back line, it's the best lethality item you can buy. Obviously, Gangplank has kind of awkward mythics. He doesn't often need the shield bow. Gale Force can sometimes be a little bit weird. Kraken, obviously not really a thing. Impact, and no one's going to go for him.
I also want to point out that he doesn't actually have to dive backline with it. You can go on Yasuo, but here we go.
Go, Jujupun gonna try to find the wind wall, gets away from the TF, jumps right back out. Ornn, not gonna find it, gets stuck in place and cannot find the ulti. So they're gonna stay alive, but TL still want the siege.
That was still really well played, though, by JoJo. You know, wind walls out Bjergsen, then finds the dash behind Santorin out of the G4 ulti to safety, but TL putting that pressure on.
Yeah, I mean, the rewards for Team Liquid, actually turning on Inspired at the Dragon fight and getting that flank kill and then getting the Baron have just ballooned this goal lead. Now 4,000 for them as they pressure on the bottom side of the map and keep Evil Geniuses pinned in.
Fighting for the wave right now, and of course Whippo and Hans, the ones who don't have the Baron buff, so they don't get a Shepherd in the wave very well. Hexgate out, should be full safety, TL away.
And checking in on Ornn.
Oh, Whippo.
The Rhyme Forged Grasp is through, so he's got his self-upgrade.
Whippo's
Whippo
slowed, slowed again, oranges are in. Does not have the flash, but he's got enough reinforcements coming around. Hans Fama, be careful, Inspired,
JoJo
almost in
flank.
range, can they get it? Jumps in, stunned in place, Hanslow stays alive, quick stopwatch burns, but JoJo finds the backline. Down goes Core JJ, Bjergsen, now time to run, big slow for Hansama. One back for Vulcan there as well, do they get that kill? Triple knockup, into barrels, one more in for the top lane, and Impact takes down Hansama, a second for the Gangplank, and they're gonna keep trading back and forth, Santorin goes down, EG just fight better.
By the smallest of margins there. Inspired lives. He gets his Zonias off. That means Team Liquid cannot snowball that fight, and they are punished within their own jungle. These corridors Impact the huge knock-up there on Ornn on top of Hansama. They chase them through. They finish it off. My goodness, this EG lineup is so tenacious, fighting their way right back into it.
It's just so much confidence, no fear on these plays. JoJo taking that Rift Gate into the back line, trying to combo up, finding Core JJ, I believe, and we can see it in the Rocket Flip Your Switch replay here. I believe it was, in fact, Vulcan whose knockup he actually ulted off onto Core JJ, and we'll see this time because they get the stun on Inspired, denying the combo, but then Vulcan goes over the wall. Look at the knockdown there into the double ulti from JoJo. Vulcan setting him up because they have 3 forms of this combo. If you hyper-focus on stopping Inspired, someone else will set up the Yasuo.
They've got plenty of knockups. This is what I was talking about from Impact onto Hansama. Allows JoJo to slip in. They take down the other carry. It's the swarm of evil geniuses, and I'm just so impressed with the composure of this team that was put together so quickly in the offseason, combining the young NA talent with some veteran shot calling. The discipline of Impact really showing through here as well, and they have not given up. They cut the gold lead in more than half.
And off of that team fight, you not only get multiple item completions here, i.e. through from Danny, Zonia is purchased up by Inspired, but Impact just got another level. So now the upgrades for the teammates are going to start coming through, and the gold lead really starts to lie to you.
Cool thing is, the supports combined for over 4K damage in that fight. 1,400 out of Vulcan and like 2-7 out of Core J. Davis most on his team, man. Well, I love Leandry's Zyre. That champ is a real carry.
And what does this mean for the next stage of the game? It means that Team Liquid are much more flimsy in these full-on 5v5s. And so they have to be very good at utilizing their long-range gameplay. The Whippo barrel chains we mentioned, the ultimates from him, Hansama, and Bjergsen are critical here. Core JJ is the main peel for the team, but they also need to spread out so they don't get comboed like that. Fighting in the jungle is a death sentence. You have to choose where you're going for these fights. Whippo here gonna force down this dragon while the rest of the team engages.
Got flash, Gale Force keeps him in range. They can't find it yet. The rocket lands for damage. Arrow gets him out of the range, but you're gonna solo him anyway. Inspired saves the ult, finds the kill.
Danny gets the zap.
No one's gonna go down though. But that's such a big fight though. It's gonna be so easy to walk up Baron and look for the next setup because all the ults, a lot of the ones that matter are still up.
Exactly, Diana still has ulti here. You still have a possible knockup from her. You have a possible knockup from TK. They're gonna force Santorin over here. Core has no flash. He's easy pickings. Bjergsen has no flash. They're going to pop the ulti to get vision here, but they're looking like they're just trying to burst it down.
Santorin, he's going to want it. Can he make it happen? Oh, it's again Inspired. The better smites all series long. Not going to find it from Impact. He's got to be careful. 1K health left. Whippo goes in for nothing. Going to go ahead and Prowler's Claw himself to death. 2-0 now. Bjergsen runs away.
There's nothing Team Liquid can do to stop this EG onslaught as soon as they get the engage. And EG knowingly, gladly give up that dragon in favor of the engage. No matter what Hansama used, everything, they chase him down, they chase down the Baron, and they want to take the rewards of the Team Liquid base.
And how far are they going to push? I mean, they didn't even base to spend gold here. Now recalling up some members, but they have TP on Impact. Will they bring him back? They look like they want to at least try to get down this tower. But with the respawns coming in, Inspired is pushing mid, so EG should back off and spend their gold because they do have a lot of it in pocket here. About 8,000 gold on the top 4 on your screen there for EG to actually spend up. So huge amounts waiting to be purchased here.
Look at this game right now. All right, here we go. Another replay, though. The fact that they just say, you know what, screw it, flip it, we'll just go for it, and the fact that Inspired wins the smite.
Confidence has been so true for Evil Geniuses. Combo right there. The smite is good from Inspired. Santorin tries to get himself out, but again, the chase down from this Evil Geniuses squad, especially through jungle where there's so many walls.
They all flashed in, and now Core has no flash. He's in trouble here.
Slowed, easily knocked up, finds his own ult, and actually maybe they get away. You're gonna have JoJo coming in. Inspired's gonna try again. An early stopwatch, but he didn't press R, so still goes down.
And look at the mini-map. This is with Ash split pushing, so EG know they don't have anything that's going to stop them here. They can hard push this next wave all the way into Inhibitor. Hansama now the Ash starting recall as EG are knocking at their gates.
That's where it's dying, no problem at all. You can see how far they're cheating up. They want to go for another one if that's the case here.
Reset from both Diana and Tahm Kench. With the Hex gates though, the resets are so quick, they can get right back out, and Hansama cancels his base. He doesn't expect it.
No, he's got those summoners. And Inspired's, I mean, lock-in, impact lock-in as well. But it's on cooldown, sadly. Yeah. So if he had it, yeah, I think that's on Sama flashing, or, Gale Force to go and get dodges. Ultimately able to get away. TP just gets the wave.
It will be okay, and now it really comes down to these dragons, because for TL, that's kind of your last bastion. You really have to depend on being able to pick up this dragon soul. You've fallen behind in gold. There's multiple levels of Ornn items coming through here, on the EG side, and you can see it swinging further and further in their favor. They have a very strong engage, very strong team site setup here on EG.
Yeah, the FTX gold graph, right? It's TL, and then bam, right there, that last fight.
Key word for Team Liquid now, we must pick a member of Evil Geniuses off separated. They have Twisted Fate Ultimate, they have Ashe Ultimate, Gangplank Ultimate, all these tools that were highlighted in Champion Select. Now is the time, the most critical time that they have to find those, and yet Evil Geniuses will not give them that opportunity. They just group up as 5 and they want to force this play hard.
Here we go. Looking at the siege, Baron buff is gone 120 until Dragon Soul, but we've already got the engage coming right now. Problem is there's no wave, so how's he going to do anything? Ultimately, top laners press are both, and maybe Gangplank more predisposed to it, but ultimately it's still everything dropping off. And now they try again for the siege. TF, bit of damage, bit of wave clear. Barrels making it pretty easy as well. Little bits of the chip, but not going to matter.
Yeah, not going to be able to get it down. EG trying to stay out on the map, I think, to complete these 2 critical items. BT for JoJo and GA for Danny. They're getting very close to having enough gold for those purchases, and they desperately want them for this next dragon, but they've got to get to the dragon earlier, because TL has been the ones getting the first setup on the dragon, and it's very difficult to enter through the barrels, through the plants, and that's where TL has had success. So we'll see if they can replicate that here again.
And they have to position themselves away from a lot of these small corridors. You cannot retreat into the jungle. Retreating into the jungle is a death sentence. You must choose the area that you fight this war on. Your last stand cannot be in small corridors where the Ornn ultimate will have huge value, where all these AoEs and these knockups from EG will find purchase. And
down mid, Inspire wants to find Bjergsen. Good flash to get away. That is still flashed down. Bjergsen has ulti to rejoin his team though, so positioning not going to matter, but they're just charging down mid. They're going for the Nexus or inhibitor turrets.
Are they just going to try to call their bluff? Yeah, they're just going to try to go for the game here, potentially. TL are going to have to recall. Bwipo's soloing it up, so TL are going to get sold, but EG, they just want to end the game.
Got one cannon. Bjergsen kill the cannon. Q should kill the cannon. That's going to do a lot to the wave. I don't think you can end the game here. Try to get some damage, but ultimately just giving away the Dragon Soul for middle inhibitor.
And the read here from EG is that they can't actually walk in. They have no vision on Dragon. They don't think they can fight through the GP barrels, through the Zyra poke, but now the poke will be that much stronger for TL.
Yeah.
And, the gold lead plus 3.6k here, you have to add in the Ornn items, but a lot of that is evened out by this soul being completed. So TL, it's all down to execution. It's who can find that perfect engage.
Last time, the choice for Evil Geniuses to trade Dragon number 3 soul point for the mid pick, and Baron, very good choice. This one, you do not get the win in rewards. Team Liquid with the resurgence, now that they have the extra damage, that slow is also critical for them. This is the team that wants to find picks. Again, critical ultimates, critical range from Team Liquid. They have to make use of it. They have to pop somebody on the side of Evil Geniuses, and maybe that Hex Dragon Soul will be the difference.
And now that Bjergsen has Lich Bane, the burst becomes very real. With the Rapid Fire, Lich Bane, plus Stack Deck, plus your Gold Card, all of these procs hitting at once, can be very threatening onto these carries, but the damage is also getting incredibly high for EG. You see the Mage Eyes has been there for a while there for Inspired. He's building towards Death Gap. Like, if he can hit that, it's so scary. Who do you exhaust? The Yasuo, the Diana, the Jinx, like all of these carries can run you over.
And it's not just the gold that matters here. Inspired's up 3 levels, Danny's up 2. It's more than just that, it's the levels that matter, and EG have gotten more resources out of the map. Mid lane, of course, still auto-pushing, but TL able to easily clear it. And Baron, of course, has respawned. EG won the last Smite fight, but that coin flip, even if it's weighted a little bit towards Inspired, is a risky choice every time.
It absolutely is, but I mean, if EG feel that they can't actually play towards Dragon because TL has had those better setups, maybe they're happy to force it again. I think that's what they're going to do. They're going to look for a turn here, say, all right, get over here, TL, we want to fight.
Team Liquid have so many vision checking tools, though. They actually feel confident here with Hawk Shot and Twisted Fate Ultimate and the long range of Xayah Ashe. They can poke.
Zentorn's missed 3 smites already this series. EG looking at maybe number 4, but they're going to peel back for the fight first. Here comes the Ornn Horn. Core JJ flash to safety. One good cooldown on the TL side, but Zyra Flash doesn't matter itself as intrinsically.
They did get GP teleport as well as the TF ultimate, so they did get a couple key cooldowns there. Yeah. And the Ornn ulti is going to be up pretty quick because he actually has quite a bit of CDR at this point in the game. He's level 16. He's got the Frozen Heart. That is going to be cooling down here. Just about 45 seconds or so remaining on that. And as soon as that's up again, you can look once more on this flashless Zyra, or even Bjergsen, who has the Zhonya's to immune it, but it doesn't have flash because he's spellbooked over to Ignite Exhaust.
At 35:50 thereabouts, Ornn ult is back up, so check the timer. That's how long it is until we got the spell back available. Impact gonna be stunned, jumps out to the side. Not gonna go for much more. That is a lot of damage, but he can always recall TP back in.
That's a LDR and IE.
Yeah.
So Bwipo fully online. If that's on a carry, the carry loses 90% of their health. So that is...
Oh, Impact just walks through the crowd control. Flash is still knocked up. They gotta be able to burn him down, but they can't. He's just too tanky. Hotshot called it all along.
Yeah, I mean, that orange got moves. It's also got a large HP
Move is walking slowly in
bar.
a straight line, living.
Impact, though, able to get out, able to survive, and that's critical in these
Here we go.
end
Ornn
game
ults up, start the Baron.
moments. You know, one pick will be the difference in Team Liquid. Again, they have so many vision checking tools. This time around, they use the Twisted Fate ultimate. They still have Gangplank ultimate back and available. Yes, there's huge amounts of crit here for Bwipo and the Essence Reaver Sheen proc, but also cooldown reduction. So we'll have it available for every one of these attempts. It is actually very difficult for EG to get a good Baron bait.
At least they have the Impact ulti. If they can find the target right now, it's not going to happen. He's already TP'd back, though. Flash down, and here comes round two. Core cannot get out. Core can be targeted, takes a ton of damage, and they're going to shut him down. Gale Force in. Danny's excited. The crowd as well, inspired. Forced the flash away from Bwipo. TL pushed away from the Baron pit.
Yeah, Jojo wasn't in range to follow up there, so they still need another knockup for him. And the only one available right now would be from Vulcan, but they can start up this Baron. They have BT to take it. Danny's pushing out mid. It is the 5v4 right now.
Flash engaged. Danny flashes out. Going to try to find the rest of a knockup for Santorin. Quickly gobbled up, and he's going to be unbenched. Stopwatch burn. But careful, you're on the choppers. Barrels up, going to get away. Careful on the rest of it, though. Impact and Jojo still waiting around in the wings. 2/3 down on Impact's ult cooldown.
The slowing actually helps a lot with this Hex Soul for Team Liquid. They constantly throw out these volleys, constantly slowing and keeping EG at range without that Ornn ultimate. But look at the cooldowns for those ults. They're coming back up. They start up Baron again. They want to force this.
Here we go. The next Baron flip
Watch
trying
the
again.
barrels over the wall.
He's trying to find their way in. Diana ulti back up right about now. Onto the Baron. 2K. Stuck against the wall. No! What away! Santorin 4 times in a row. This Baron goes to him.
Santorin wants that win. He wants that final spot. No way he gets into the back with his dying breath. He smites Baron.
That is so huge. EG just have not been able to find a way in at the Dragon. They don't feel they can play the map because of TF, because of this ability to pick them off in the side lane. So they've just been forcing Baron so hard. Santorin steals that away, but he is dead. And he's going to be up 10 seconds after the Elder spawns, so they can try to play for that. We can watch it one more time.
All right, forcing down, and EG are confident, inspired last time around, got the 50-50. This time, though, Santorin with the Hex Soul as well. Let's look at the damage calculations. Barrels are exploded. Bwipo tries to get it low for him as he goes in. Doesn't matter that he gets stunned. Oh, my goodness, he actually, it was really early on the first one there. Had plenty of time and the extra coordination on the side of EG. I think there was probably communication on bursting at a much higher health, and the other half of that coordination of the burst was not there.
Elder, though.
Here's the burn against Dragon Soul and a Baron buff. They're going to try to find the engage now. Santorin's in, and it's going to go to Bwipo, and they're going to start the slaughter. You got to believe 1 for 0 so far. Is it really going to happen? The combo comes in for 2. Is Dragon really not enough? Team Liquid finally burned down 1. Thank you, Leandri's Torment.
EG still won the fight, even with the back-to-back big objective steals for Team Liquid. I think I saw 38 health on that thing.
Yeah, it got smited to 38, and the last pick of the GP ulti actually stole that.
Actually crazy stuff here. I love it. The tension is high in the late game, my friends.
Man, I mean, just any mispositioning at this point in the game. You've got Soul, you've got Elder. They've got everything right now, but EG had the inside track on the Elder. They rush it down. Let's watch this, in slow mo. They just call us just to finish here. Santorin gets in the pit, smoked down 38. Last tick there of that GP ulti does take it down. Danny had great positioning, though. And when Bwipo looks for this barrel chain, not quite able to find it on the third barrel. A split second slow means that Danny backs out. He survives. They get the kill off the Leandries plus the Elder burn. onto Inspired. He's frustrated about that one. He knows they won that fight without Elder. If they had that, that could have been potentially game-ending. You potentially run over that fight. But Danny now 6 items here. JoJo working on his 5th. A lot of these members now capping out.
And as you cap out in items, things like these Medjais that are almost fully stacked there by Inspired really do matter. There's huge efficiency in that item slot. So these Diana ultimates hit like a truck.
50 seconds still on this Elder buff on 3. Certainly meaningful. Baron timing out right now. It's 200 plus an Elder Dragon for Red Bull Baron power play. Not bad for TL here. Of course, the Soul is still on, and you have to consider who really feels ahead at this point, because the levels are capping out, so, you know, Santorin's catching up now, right? There's no more XP for Inspired to gain.
I think for EG, really, you're just waiting out the Elder. You don't want to fight on the Elder. It's 30 seconds remaining. You've got to play it safe here. You're willing to give up towers. That's not going to be that important right now. The gold starts to matter way less than the setup for the fight, than the vision for the fight. That is what really becomes critical. When you're so high lethality, when people are 6 items on 6 items, squishies hitting squishies, whoever gets the first attack can decide to fight much more than that additional little bit of gold.
Let's go down. Vision's certainly incredibly relevant here. JoJo Pyun gets the credit.
Damage far outscales tankiness in the very late game. When you get full builds, it doesn't matter who you are. You get popped in the course of 2 global cooldowns. Team Liquid, they've definitely got possibilities here with the range. EG still have very good CC options for themselves, though, and can have these big wombo combos. So, again, the flashes are now the cooldowns I'm looking at, and everybody has had this truce. This standoff. Now flashes are almost across the board, all going to be available for the next team fight. So that extra level of outplay is here, and being able to flash a knockup, it means everything in the late game fight.
Absolutely. And you talk about, you know, these combos that EG are looking for. They have double Anathema's chains. So both Hansama and Whippo have the reduced tenacity and are going to be more vulnerable, you know, as a result to that. Inspired has been denied pretty well despite how fed he is in this game. It's been very tough. You know, they've had flashes available to actually get away from his engages. He's been exhausted consistently. If he can find that full combo onto someone with the items he has, he's sitting at about 755 AP. He can absolutely erase someone off the map, and they're still searching for that perfect combo. They haven't really been able to find it often in this game, but they've been scrapping through the fights regardless. And Danny now sells his boots, a true 6-item build.
Wow, okay. Well, that man's going to deal a lot of damage. He is full 100% crit chance. Everything's going to crit for about 1K. Got a compound impact on his timing of Anathemas. The more armor you have, the more percent DR functionally matters, because you can't, you know, replace that with armor nearly as easily. And he's chosen Hansama as the target. Ult's going to come across, force the flash. They get Whippo on the other. He's going to be fine. Rocket comes through in case there was a combo. Pretty short cooldown to that. Not going to mean a ton. Baron's up in 30. Elder Dragon's a minute 10 after that.
And look at JoJo, he's just getting poked so heavily as they look for these engages. Walking in, you get Ash W, you get hit by a Zyra plant. There's the Soul that is actually zapping you as well. And he's down to 50%, just walking forward, trying to follow up. It becomes pretty tough.
Yeah, there's so much ability haste in this game, especially with the Hextech Dragons, that the ultimates, anybody will gladly trade these ultimate cooldowns for flash cooldowns, because it's so much more difficult to reduce a cooldown there for a flash, and just one was blown. Bjergsen, though, because he has Spellbook, swaps it over. So he's full combat with the barrier exhaust combination.
They're TPing it there on the Baron.
Again. 10K health, Inspired spots it, even as a blast plant. So he's got a lot of mobility for this fight. Not an easy play. They're going to find the first route, but he's the tank. They can still burn him down. 1K health left. Chomps up. He's going to be fine. Inspired gets onto 1, and a deletion on a Hansama. Bjergsen the 1v1 against JoJo. JoJo going to wait and find the next target. Already trading back, though. TF is down. Santorin's next. And it does not matter if you've got a soul. It does not matter what else is happening. It's a triple kill. Again, it's Danny clutching the team fight.
And they're going to go straight for the base. They've got minions with them.
Vulcan finds Whippo. He's got impact here as well. Gangplank first 2 hits. He'll kill 1. He'll kill 2. And Whippo can try to save the game.
The hero Team Liquid needed Whippo now. Can he make the last stand? 2v1 versus the EG carry.
It's too late.
The barrels have to happen. What's it going to be? Turret 1 goes down. Excited Jinx. They're going to go for broke. And they're going to do it again. EG 2-0.
What a team fight to finish it off. Inspired finding the flag there. He connects onto Hansama, and Hansama gets absolutely deleted off the map by JoJo Pyun. who's able to get on Bjergsen right after EG pushing through in what was such a hotly contested game. This one was so incredibly close.
Yeah.
The gold meant nothing. It came down to the positioning in the team fights, the execution in the team fights, and EG had been consistently better at that the whole game long.
I just love the confidence that this Evil Genius team is playing with. And their story throughout Spring Split has been one of growth. When they formed this team, they had to even convince Inspire to join with footage of JoJo's play to convince him that he was worthy to play on this team. And they have come together so seamlessly, not just the individual plays that we've seen. Some of the heroics have been, out of this world, but also as display in this game, some of their team fighting and some of that team play also following.
I mean, Danny, quietly, 10-1-7 in that game. It wasn't as flashy as the last game, but this guy is on fire. And we talk a lot about, and the desk talks a lot about, when you have a young player and you put them in front of a massive crowd, you don't know how they're going to react until they actually are in that moment. And they are feeding off of that. And you can really see it on their faces. You can see the excitement in the pop-offs. They're loving it.
The thing for me is Danny stepping up here when Hans Sama is not. The man had stopwatch when a Diana ran at him through vision and ulted him. He had a stopwatch when he died, and he didn't burn it when he got comboed on. That's the moment you got to make. I'm sorry. We have seen the Miss Zonias in finals. We've seen the mistakes in front of the big stages. Hans Sama 2-1 up against SKT. They had that series dropped there as well. Unfortunately, he has not been as clutch as this team needed here in this series. That mistake